to do some computer tips over here, and I'm going to show you different things. I'm on OBS here doing a recording. So first what you're going to do is you're going to go all the way to the left to your start button. You're going to right click it. Then you're going to click on Task Manager. Then you're going to go up to Startup tab. Click on Startup tab. And see this here, these are all disabled except this one thing is enabled. What you do is you right click on it and then you disable it. So everything in this list you want to disable. And it even tells you on the side, well, that's not going to disable because it's running. Well, if it's running, it's not going to disable. But everything else in this list that you have under startup, you want it to be disabled. Or you could click down here and just disable everything at once. And then close that out. And then that's done. Now programs, when you start your computer up, programs that are in the background running won't be running in the background because you just disabled everything. You have to go in there time to time because as you're using these programs again, they will enable themselves eventually. So when you do that, make sure you go in there like every couple weeks and then just, disable what's on there, That's something you do every few weeks. Another thing I'm going to do is you're going to go down to your toolbar on the bottom here and an empty space on the toolbar. You're just going to right click and you want to make sure it says, well, let me move the cam over because the cam's in the way. And when you do that, when you right click on the toolbar, you want to make sure that the taskbar is locked. See where it says lock taskbar? You want to make sure this is locked at all times. So that's good. If it's not, you make sure it's locked. You put a check mark in front of it. Let me move the camera over so I'm back in the picture. That's something what you do. Make sure that taskbar is locked, because if it's not, you'll find your Windows start button on the right side, or it can move around. But once it's locked, it can't move. It stays in one place. So that's a good thing to do. Another thing is right click on the Windows start and then left click on run and then type in MRT in there. And let's see what we can do. And hit OK. Another button, Windows moleculous removal tool will come up. And what you do is you hit next on there, and you could either do a quick scan or a full scan or a custom scan. I would say do a quick scan, and it will look for any viruses or malicious software that's on your computer. That's what that does. That's a malicious software, which means virus or spyware. So you click on the start, you right click it, you left click run, you type in MRT, and if you think you have a virus or any kind of infection on the computer, what you do is you click on that and then you run a quick scan, and if it finds any viruses or anything, it's going to remove them. So that's a good thing. You want that to happen. And it'll take a while. The quick one doesn't take very long. If you have time, you can do a full scan, but the quick one is good enough because if it finds anything on there, it'll remove it. You can do a deeper clean if you have, time. If you have time, what you could do is, do the full scan. which is it's going to take longer, but that just depends on if you have time to do it. So we're going to let this run, and as you see, it's coming back. Nothing's infected so far. It tells you right on the screen, files infected 0, and if it finds anything, it will remove it. It's searching for whatever's on there. It's checking your whole hard drive, scanning your hard drive. It's very important to do this if you think you have anything on there, infection or spyware. Okay, so it's done. It says nothing's there. Hit finish. You're all done with that. And we're going to go back to the Windows Start button, right click it. And this time we're going to go back to run, and we're going to type in prefetch, prefetch, just like that, and hit OK. If you get this screen, just hit continue, and that will find a lot of temporary files in this prefetch folder. So if you have a lot of files in there, what you want to do is you want to hold the control key and the A key, and that highlights everything, and then you can hit delete on your keyboard. And if it leaves a couple in there, don't worry about it. You could hit skip and close it out. That's prefetch folder, and you clean that out. And after that, we're going to go back to the start button, right click it again, click run again, and this time we're going to type in temp, T-E-M-P, and we're going to check that folder out. And again, if you get to continue, it's just like a permission thing. You just hit continue, and you can see that mine doesn't have that much, but I'm still going to hit Control A and hit delete and hit continue. But if you have a lot of stuff in there, make sure you hold down the Control A key and delete everything in that folder, and then close it out and go back, right click, go to the run. This time we're going to type in parenthesis, not parenthesis, what do you call it, percentage, thank you, temp percentage, just like that, percentage, temp percentage, all small letters. And this folder has a bunch of stuff in, so we're going to do the same thing. Hold down the Control A and go to delete on the keyboard and delete everything and close that out when you're done. And you just clean your cache out. And what you do after that is make sure you empty the recycle bin. So when you finish that, go to the recycle bin and hit empty, and that'll get, rid of whatever's in there. So that's good to do. Another thing we can do is we can right click on the start. We can go to File Explorer, and then you go and you pick this PC on the left, and that shows your drives. Here you're showing your C drive, that's your hard drive. You can right click that and go down to Properties, and then you can click where it says Disk Cleanup, and it will bring up a box. And the first thing I usually do is I click Clean System Files, and that'll clean all your system files. And then after that's done, this box will come up, and you check whatever you want it to remove. System errors, memory dump file. You can check everything that you don't want on here. You can even empty the recycle bin or whatever was there, and then once you check it, then you hit OK, and then it'll give you the thing for delete files. You hit delete files and let that do its thing. It's going to delete all those temporary files, and then once that's done, you're good to go. So you can close that out. And your C drive, you did the disk scan on your C drive. The D drive that's your CD-ROM. Mine's actually H. Doesn't really matter what letter it is, but excuse me. That's all you got to do, and then you can close that out. Another thing you can do is you can go back to Start by right-clicking it. You can go to Settings, and you have all these different things here. You can click on System, and System is a really good one also because you can, this night light, if you don't use it, you can keep it off. And it tells you the resolution of your monitor. Make sure it's on the proper resolution. And then on the left you have all these different things here to do. Let's say you want to check your display, or you want to check your sound. You can do that. You have a meter here for your speaker headphone. If you want to bring up the volume, you can do that with sound. Make sure the microphone you use on your computer is in the drop down. That's mine there. Snowball, Blue Snowball, that's what I use. And you could test your microphone, and it's a pretty good thing to do in sound. And then close that out. You can also go down to search and type in, let me see what we're going to do. Type in, well, let's not do that right now. Let me go back into File Explorer. Left click, go to File Explorer, and then this shows all your folders and files on the computer and your downloads. You click on download. These are all the files you downloaded. If you want to save them, you can. If you want to delete them, you can. It's just up to you how you want to do that. You got your desktop icon there. You can click on that. You can go to Documents, see all your documents, your pictures, and your folders. All these different folders I have. And I actually have 2 hard drives in this computer, so it's showing both of them. But well, no, this one only has 1, the other one has 2. But it's showing all the programs in Document. That's where I install all the programs, and I keep them. But it doesn't really matter where you put them as long as you have them. I just like to do it in my Documents. I'm used to it. And then close that out. And also what you can do is you can go to what's called Device Manager, and if you have a problem with your hardware, this is a great place to check. If I had any problems with any of these things, USB, software, processor, keyboard, mouse, monitor, display, camera, or any of this stuff, right over here on the left hand side there would be a yellow exclamation point. And if it was there, then you can click on whatever it is. You can go to what it is, right click it, and you can update the driver, you can disable it, you can do all different things. You can go to Properties and make sure it's working right and check different things. Usually if you have an error, what you can do is right click it, go to that, right click it, and then update the driver, or scan for hardware changes or update. That's Device Manager. If you have any kind of hardware conflicts or problems, that's where you go and check for them. And all you got to do is either type device in the bottom, or just click on search and go to Device Manager. If you want to go to command prompt, you can click command prompt from there also, and there's also calculator and settings in there. So that's a good thing to do. And also, let's go check out a few things. We're going to go to power options. Right click the thing, go to power options, and this is where you set up your power and sleep mode. Now, if you want your computer to shut off at a certain time, you can set it up here. Screen will shut off in 4 hours. See, there's a drop down. You could change it to anything you want. When plugged in, PC goes to sleep after a certain amount of hours. I'm actually going to change it to never because I don't like it to go to sleep. Additional power settings is on the bottom. You can click that, and what I recommend, let me move this over. What I recommend is you click on additional power option and click on high performance. That'll speed up the computer a little bit. It uses a little bit more power, but it will speed up the computer more, and then you just close that out. You can also go to storage, and as we said, put in turn on the storage cent, configure that, and down here it's showing you how your storage is being used, and what's in the folders. So that's a good thing to check out. Also, your display, your sleep options. Let's close this out because we've already seen all that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to disk management. Actually, let's go to apps and feature. Right click it, go to apps and features. When you get there, this is a very important one. Installing apps only from Microsoft Store helps you protect your device. If you want to just store, I put anywhere because a lot of apps you download from different places, so you won't you won't just download from one spot. What I do here is make sure you change that to size, and it tells you how big these files are, these programs that are on your computer, and or you could change it back to name, either way. Optional feature, see optional feature history, nothing there, just close that out, and we're good to go with that. All the programs that are on your computer are in the list here. If you left click it, you'll see all the programs. These are all installed on your computer. If you want to go into your control panel, down at the search bar, type in control panel, and go up here, click on control panel, and in here there's a whole lot of important stuff going on. Now, all the programs that are listed on your installed on your computer are going to be under program and features. So if you click on program and features, this comes up. You get a whole list of all the programs on your computer. So if you don't use some of the programs, or you don't want some of the programs, this is where you would highlight it and uninstall it, and that will free up space on your hard drive and make your computer run faster too. So what you do is you go in here and you look at all the different programs that are listed here, and browser extension, that's not necessary, so I just uninstall that, take that off. You have to give it time for it to remove it. Any kind of extensions is really not good for your computer. That's just like extra software you don't really need. So I just take that off, and I just uninstall it. Okay, and give it time to get rid of that. You really can't do, you can only do one thing at a time, so you just have to be patient. Next is everything else I want. Actually, I'm going to uninstall this program because I just don't use it. That's okay. It's a good program, but I already have CCleaner. So make sure you have at least CCleaner on your computer. It's a free program you can download to clean all kinds of junk that gets on there. Malware or spyware. Let's see what else is on here. Okay, updates, OBS, everything else looks good. So you check that, uninstall, and then make sure you close it out. So that is the control panel. Now we're going to go back in it. I'm going to click at the search bar, and then I'm going to go back to the control panel because there's a whole lot more stuff in there. Now, system icon, you click that, and that tells you all about your computer. If you want to know the specs on your computer, you go in the control panel and you click on the system icon, and it tells you, you can look here, it tells you your processor, the speed of the processor, how much installed memory you have, what operating system you have. So it tells you all about your computer in here. The addition of the operating system, it's all right there. So you could check that out if you need that information, and then close that out once you're done. So you got power options. We did programs and features. System tells you all about what's in your computer. Device manager, if you have any conflicts with hardware, that's where you go for that. And if you have to change your clock, date and time is right here. Your mouse, you could speed it up or change the settings on your mouse. And the font size and all this other stuff is here. So that's the inside the control panel, which is a really good place to go when you have to you have problems or you have to check for different things like that. So we've already checked into that. Now I'm going to run a CCleaner. I'm going to show you the CCleaner program, which you should get. It's a small free program that also looks for spyware. See, it's CCleaner free. So you just go to Google or Edge, whatever browser you use, and you download CCleaner free version. Then you go to custom scan. You click on that, then you click on run, and then you let it run and remove any kind of junk that it finds. It's going to scan your computer for any kind of junk, and then once you do that, that's complete. It tells you up here how long the scan was and how much stuff it removed. 3.18 gigabytes, which is good. Then you can go to the left to the registry option, click on that, and then you can do scan for issues, and this checks your Windows registry for any kind of problems in there. When you delete or download or do anything on the computer, the files can get scattered in different places, and the Windows registry lets you remove some of the files that are left behind. See, these are the files that it found. It's scanning the registry. So once it finishes doing that, then we're going to remove all the files that it found. So just give it some time. If you haven't used this CCleaner free program before, it does take a little time on the first try. Now that's done, so you hit review, selected issues. You can choose to back up your registry or not. I say no, and then fix all selective issues, and then close it, and then you're done with the CCleaner, which is a very good program. Another program I like is antivirus, the free version. I use the advanced, and you can download that also on the internet. Avast free version for Windows 10, and you can also check for problems with that. Yeah, it's right there. It's it finds different issues that you have, and it asks you if you wanted the paid version. You don't have to use the paid version, but you can use the free version of the antivirus. So if you want a free antivirus and you don't want to pay for one like McAfee or Norton, you can go to the internet and type in Avast antivirus free version and download that. It's always going to ask you if you want to upgrade to the paid version. You can if you want, but you really don't have to. The free version does everything, except you'll have to do your updates yourself. That's the only difference. It'll tell you when it needs to be updated, and then you just click on it and you update it. So that's Avast antivirus. Or you can go to AVG, which is another free version antivirus, and you can get that one. Both of them are pretty much the same. AVG or Avast, they're both good. I use Avast. I used to use AVG a lot with Windows XP and Windows 7 and Windows 98, but Avast or AVG, that way you have your protection, and make sure you keep it updated. When you have it updated, then it will be able to check for all the latest threats and viruses that are out there. So make sure you do that.